All right, the world of AI is just moving at a ridiculous pace, right? It feels like major breakthroughs are dropping almost every single day. So, what we're going to do today is a kind of rapid fire tour of the absolute latest. We're talking new models, incredible tools, and yeah, even robots. So, let's kick things off with a question that, well, it really hits close to home. Think about it. What if that AI you use all the time actually remembered you? Like remembered your last conversation and the one from yesterday and the one from last week? Because, that's exactly where this whole industry is sprinting towards. We're seeing this huge shift, moving away from these forgetful one-off chats and toward creating AIs that have a real persistent memory of you. Yeah, so OpenAI's Sam Altman is already dropping these little hints about what's coming with GPT-6. And the big idea, the absolute core of it, is memory. I mean, just imagine an AI that actually remembers your projects, your unique writing style, even the weird shorthand you use. It could start anticipating what you need instead of making you start from scratch every single time. The end goal here, an AI that feels way less like a clunky tool and more like a true assistant that actually, gets you. And look, this is not just some OpenAI fantasy, not at all. Take a look at Perplexity, the AI answer engine. They're rolling out this feature they're calling Super Memory, and it does pretty much the exact same thing. It learns what you care about based on your past searches so that all your future answers are way more tailored to you. So yeah, this is a full-blown industry trend. It's happening. So here's the really crucial part, the big so what. The company that cracks this personal memory nut, they build themselves a massive moat. I mean, think about it. Once you've spent weeks, maybe months, teaching an AI all your personal context, your projects, your style, why on earth would you ever switch to another one? It becomes totally indispensable. That's how you lock in loyalty in a way that just, raw power and performance can't. And this isn't just about what's happening on your computer screen. Not by a long shot. Google is literally about to give every single Nest smart speaker and display a major brain transplant. They're ripping out the old Google Assistant and plugging in their way, way more powerful Gemini model. What does that mean for you? It means your smart home will finally understand context. You could just say something natural like, hey, I'm going to watch a movie, and it'll just know to dim the lights and switch on Do Not Disturb. No more clunky commands. Okay, so this growing memory, this awareness of our habits, that's really just one piece of the puzzle. The next giant leap is in what AI can do with all that understanding. We're talking about its creative and reasoning powers getting a serious, massive upgrade. All right, to see exactly what I mean, let's check out this new open source tool called Qwen Image Edit. Someone took a photo of some penguins and just gave the AI this one simple text prompt. And the result was, well, it was just astonishing. The AI didn't just slap a sign on the image. No, it understood the physics of the scene. It absolutely nailed the perspective, the lighting, the shadows. It even added a super subtle reflection of the sign in the wet sand. But here's the most incredible part. The rest of the image, every single penguin, was left completely untouched, totally pixel perfect. That is surgical precision. Okay, so editing an image like that is, wow, but that's one thing. Can an AI actually discover something truly new? I mean, can it generate knowledge that didn't exist before? Solve a problem that no human has managed to crack, something that definitely wasn't in its training data? Well, it looks like the answer to that is yes. An OpenAI researcher recently took an unsolved math problem from a brand new research paper and just fed it to an internal model they're calling GPT-5 Pro. And get this, after just 17 minutes of thinking, the AI didn't just solve the problem. It came up with a proof for an even stronger result than the human researchers were even trying for. And yeah, actual mathematicians have verified it. It's correct, and it is genuinely new knowledge. And we're not talking about some tiny incremental improvement here. The proof that the AI generated improved let's call it the boundary of the problem, by a full 50%. Let me be really clear. This wasn't just a small step. It was a huge leap forward, a really meaningful advance in mathematics. And it was made entirely by an AI. So we've got an AI with a memory, we've got an AI with new reasoning skills. What's the next logical step? Well, you give that intelligence a physical body. And that's exactly where humanoid robots are making some absolutely incredible leaps right now. The key piece of tech that's making all this possible is something called large behavior models, or LBMs. The easiest way to think about it is this. They're basically large language models, but for movement. So instead of being trained on all the text on the internet, they're trained on massive amounts of data about physical movements and tasks. And that's the secret sauce that lets a robot actually learn and adapt, instead of just blindly following a pre-written script. And you could really see the power of this in that crazy recent demo from Boston Dynamics. They gave their Atlas robot a super simple task: just put these objects in a bin. But then an engineer starts messing with it, right? He keeps closing the lid with a hockey stick, even drags the entire bin away. And Atlas, instead of just glitching out, it just adapts. It walks over, reopens the lid, it sees the bin is moved, so it picks it up and brings it back to finish the job. It's real-time physical problem solving. But at the very same time, you've got another company, Figure, and they're tackling a totally different but just as important challenge. So while Atlas is in the lab mastering these complex, fiddly tasks, their Figure 02 robot just showed it can walk stably and adaptively on rough, uneven ground outside. So you've got these two different paths, task mastery and real-world movement, and both are absolutely critical steps to getting a truly general-purpose robot. Okay, so all these new capabilities, this evolving mind, and this new physical body, they aren't just happening in some quiet research lab. No, this is the prize. This is what everyone is fighting for in a hugely intense corporate and, yes, geopolitical race for AI dominance. Just look at Meta, for example. You want to see urgency? They have reorganized their entire AI division for the fourth time in a single year. The strategy seems pretty clear. Just smash down the walls between the pure research folks and the product teams, get everyone into one big group, and just move faster. It tells you they are convinced that superintelligence is on the horizon, and that even how your company is structured is now a weapon in the race to get there first. And at the same time, that classic rivalry between the US and China is really heating up. There's a Chinese startup called DeepSeek that just dropped a seriously powerful open source model. And early tests show it can go toe-to-toe with some of the best models from the West. But, and it's a big but, they're facing this huge hurdle, pressure from their own government to use Chinese-made chips instead of NVIDIA's, and that really slows them down. It perfectly highlights this massive push for total AI independence. And that brings us right to NVIDIA, who are caught squarely in the middle of this whole thing. So the US government says you can't sell your most powerful AI chips to China. What does NVIDIA do? They play this incredibly clever cat and mouse game. They go and design special, slightly dialed down chips just for the Chinese market. The next one is called the B30A, and it's basically engineered to be as absolutely powerful as it can possibly be, right up to the legal line drawn by those restrictions. It's all about keeping their crucial foothold in that absolutely massive market. So let's just step back and put all these pieces together. AI is developing a memory. It's learning incredible new creative and reasoning skills. And now it's finally getting a physical body to actually move around and interact with our world. When you see all that, you realize the big question is no longer if this technology is going to change everything. That ship has sailed. The real question, the one we all have to answer, is how we're going to choose to live with it.